Alrighty, guys. It is Dr. Rage, DRR or 4G3, with Weed here on the Relax server, or not the Relax server, in the Relax Guild, posting over 100,000 items again. So let's go take a look at what I could cancel. Currently on sale, 154,000 listed in assets. Now that doesn't mean that that's what it's worth and what it's going to sell at, right? When you look at the stock market or just auctions in general, anyone can list a price for $1 million, right? But is someone willing to pay $1 million is the whole point of it. And so what I have done in the past, if you watch my other video, at one point I cornered the netherweave market, and then I also cornered the netherweave bag market. Now, on this character, I don't actually have any bags for sale. Let me go really quick to the backwards of Weed. It's DW. The priest, 58, just chilling in Iron Forge. But at one point, so there is a person. I know they're nice, and I know they've helped people in the past here on the server. Their name is Kalianamoli or something. Give me a moment. Let me go look at this up in the house here. But at one point, I bought all the netherweave out, so I could be the only one buying netherweave bags. And then what I did was I bought all of this person, Kalanianoli. I bought all of their bags at 30, 20, 40 gold. Bought them all out. In fact, I could do that on my other character. It would only be a little less than 3,000 gold right now. And then what I do is I relist them. And if you go back to my price history, I was listing them at one point for 1, 2, 3, 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 100 gold. I was doing 150. I was selling them for. And so if you start selling, 10 bags at 150, that's 1,500 gold. You're now part of the way towards a WoW token. And what I do is I buy these WoW tokens just so I could play hardcore WoW. Like, I love WoW. And I loved the Cataclysm Classic. But the MOP is just, it's not for me. And I figured, well, if I can spend a little bit of time on this auction house and make enough to pay for my hardcore WoW, that's all I needed to do. So let me go back to my weed guy really quick, because I'm not going to list the bags. I could list them for 30, but I'm not going to mess up the market there. So let me go back to the druid. Thanks for your help. I had fun doing raids with you guys, no doubt. It's not you guys. It's me, and I'd rather play WoW Classic, hardcore. But oh yeah, shoot, where am I going? I still have to get more things out of the mailbox, but I'll just show you everything I have here, listed alphabetically. Briarthorn, over 400. Bruiseweed, definitely over 1,000. Coarse blasting powder, coarse stone. Look at all these listings for coarse stone. Big discount right now. I would buy this. So some people are just lazy and they'll throw up the price for anything. These things aren't worth 99 copper. Like, not even close. Not even close. But at one point, I accumulated a large amount buying low. And when you buy low at a discount, you can resell it for double the price, triple, quadruple. It depends on what's available in the market. And it's always supply and demand, right? So technically, I just flooded the market with too much supply. This is more than what the whole server could probably bring in a week. I'm not saying, all right, if they tried, yes, they could beat it. But naturally, you're not seeing, how much is this? I'm actually curious how much coarse stone I put in there. What? So I put up 4,500 coarse stone. That's what I had in my mailbox, just in coarse stone. Copper ore, obviously 1,000 plus, 1,500 copper ore, but for a gold a piece, I'm looking at possibly getting 1,500 gold, and that's realistic. With the copper ore, I'm not the highest price. There are people higher than me, so like I'm not really killing the market. If I wanted to, could I buy all of this right now and reset the market and send it to 9 gold? I could if I wanted to, but I'm not. I'm not going to. I had around 6,000 gold when I signed in or so. Made a little bit from the mailbox, but so far I have spent 1,200 estimated in deposit fees. Okay, and so it can be a losing battle when you have too much in the market. Let me check guild chat really quick. Just I'll say hi. Hey, still live streaming. DRR4, G3 YouTube. How to corner market and make G4 WoW tokens. All right, so anyways, I'm going to get the rest of this stuff listed. And basically, the whole principle is always buy low, sell high, right? That's as simple as it comes. Here's me right now, all a dense blasting pattern. I think there might have been, no, actually there wasn't any in the market today. So I'm going to throw it up for 48 hours and hope and pray. Now, this is where I got lazy earlier because I didn't feel like I keep on buying more and more stone. It's just at some point, the technical term, if you want to learn stock market language, is called capitulation. Capitulation is when you give up and you just sell for whatever price it might be, or if you're short in the market, you then have to buy whatever shorts, like you could sell stocks short and try to send the price down. But if you get squeezed, now you have to buy it back, and it's called capitulation. It's basically is when you have no more leverage and you just give up and you just throw it in there. And so like that's how that works. But overall, there's not always a lot of liquidity, especially in a role-playing server like this. And so I got really lucky in the beginning because we're a role-playing server and MOP was starting to transition over. What I decided to do was, I know people are going to need bags if they make new characters, especially the panda things. And that's the whole thing that throws me off. And I don't like the panda thing. It's just weird. Beyond that, I knew that there was going to be a high demand for bags, and that's when I was able to, I literally bought out Cannoli Anoli's, all of his or her bags, buy them low, sell them high. And literally I would not wake up, but like look at my mailbox, you sell like 24 bags at 100 piece, like you're looking at 2,400 gold. It's that simple. So here's me, I'm completely capitulated on this coarse stone. So if you do want any, get in there and buy it in the auction house now. Like, I'm not saying buy all of it. Please don't. You'll never have enough space unless you're like me. And so, like, this is strictly only for doing auction house work. And so I don't worry about my bank space. I don't worry about my bag space. Literally, I'm setting these, like, nearly every auction for... What the hell? That's a crazy number in there. I don't even know what to sell these things for. I'll put them in for gold. Go buy them if they're good. I have no clue. My bank is the mailbox. You guys have 30 days to get your stuff out of the box, and obviously I haven't been on for 14, if you could tell. I finally got to the like it said mailbox full, but like literally every like one box in my mailbox is 320 items. 30, 320, 320, 80, 93. You know, it goes on and on and on. And aren't all it's not I was here for fun. Now I'm here to try to just get WoW tokens and get out. So all right, whatever. So anyways, I'm only here to teach you market mechanics, economics, and basic educational content on how the real world actually works. People, like I said, are lazy sometimes. They will list assets. Assets are anything that can be traded and stored with value, aka all of these items here. Buying and selling and trading is just like in the stock market, and what it comes down to is, like, see, to me, like back in the day, like Shadow Silk, it shouldn't be this low. There's only one of them. What I would do here, now see, all right, here's a lesson for you. Here's a lesson for you, because this is called a spread. There's 1 gold and 9 gold. That's a huge difference between prices, okay? Normally they're really tight and there's not a lot of movement in here. But we have 9 gold and 1 gold. So like, what the hell do you do? In this case, what I would do is I would buy the one. Now here, I'll just for example, I would buy the 1 shadow silk. Any other time, any other market conditions, I would buy that one. I would go to my mailbox. I don't care if there were 1,000 of them at 1 gold. I would probably buy them and then come right back in here and list for $8.95 or $8.99.99. You pick a number as long as you are undercutting, okay, and you have just made a huge profit margin of around $7.95, that 1 gold invested, okay, and now you can list it for $8.95. All right, those are called spreads, and this is exactly how the stock market works. Is there's something called payment for order flow, and when you buy stocks through like Robinhood, etc., stuff like that, your orders are sent through to the market makers, who, like, that's where your stock is going to come from. They see your order come in, and what they can do is buy a stock lower on that spread, okay, and still get you your share for a fair price. But they're going to take the rest of that margin in between the spread. Now, the spread might only be 50 cents, it might be 5 cents. But if they can make 3 cents 100,000 times, that's someone's bonus for the year. You know what I mean? Like, there is a whole spiel that I could go down the road with GameStop and all that kind of stuff with the stock market. But here we are, we're just talking World of Warcraft. And so I do this for fun. It's kind of just fun to me. It's like, I didn't list this. Who is this listing Primal Shadows? So 39.30, we could do 39.29, or it's at 38. 39.29. Whoa, geez. All right. Anyways, I'm not going to list it for that. I'll sell it for 30. What do I have? One of them? Not a big deal. So it's not just me trying to make money. Everyone's trying to make gold, okay? The whole point they have these WoW tokens for is so you spend your gold. And you could get a free month of WoW. Now, this price only goes down when people are actually buying the tokens. Right now, I guess people aren't buying tokens. The price has risen. I was buying them at 10,000 or 12,000. I was able to get 4 or 5 of them, I think. But regardless of that, so let's do another quick lesson in here. No, we can't, because I already have it listed. So I'm just going to dump that in there. Don't really care right now. See, someone had this listed for 119. Am I being greedy? Am I being greedy? Nope. Here's your answer. So, but I will undercut them. Someone's listing things. I could list things. They could list things. It's called a free and fair market, and that's what America thrives on. So, Arnall or whoever it was, you're buried already. Nothing against you. I'm here for fun too. I was here for fun, but MOP is not my way. And so what I have found is a way to fund my WoW habit without having to pay $15 a month. I could come on here for about a half hour every, whatever. It was 2 weeks ago that I came back on, and get a couple grand in golds and maybe get a WoW token. My prerogative isn't yours, and that's okay. Here, you want the discount? Come get the core stone. Come take the core stone. You could buy it all out, store it, and start selling it at a higher price. That's the whole point. Just imagine, you could buy, I don't know, it would be a lot. That's a lot of core stone. But if you bought some and saved it for later, in case the prices do rise. Here's someone selling it for, now I had it for 175. They came in with 174, so I'll undercut that. Throw it in there. Some things didn't exist in the market at all. I'm actually providing liquidity and or items that people might need. Here's something. What did I just put up? 4 gold, whatever. So it's economics. Look at all these other essences before me. The Primal Waters, that just was 17. That's a greedy person. 5, blah, blah, blah. Here's your discount. So what you could do, technically what I would do here is, if I saw this spread here, you have to look for differences. So this is a 3 silver difference. You're not going to make anything there. But it goes from 3 silver to nearly 5. Ooh. So what you would do as an investor is you would invest in buying the low here and then reselling right under this number here. You could do 494.99. And when you have multiple, the more quantities you have, the more money you can make, in the difference or the spread in between. Okay. And what I do is I will use something like Auctionator to take a look at, like right in here, 18, 18, 18, 19, 19, 20. Oh, big jump. Big jump right there. So what you could do is we'll type in 10 bars into shopping. 10, oh, I could have just done this. So we'll do this, 10 bar, and the auctionator will show you, look at this, here's your unit price. This is technically your cost per average. Your average cost for all of the tin that you're buying. That's how much. So if you were to sell it for 27, you now have an 8 silver spread times 1400. 1400 times 8, it's going to be a big number, and that's going to be a large profit for you. Okay? I'm not saying like this is the only way to play the game, but here's what I provide. Okay? All of these people right here, okay, they are selling at a low price. I am actually giving them what they want. They want their items to sell. I am providing liquidity. This is how a market works, okay? Whether it's stock market, World of Warcraft market, eBay market, whatever it might be, a buyer like myself provides exit liquidity for these people. They get their gold, right? I get my items or my stock or whatever the hell it's going to be. This is how the actual world market functions, my friends. And people who selling with an 7 silver, 8 silver spread difference, this isn't my fault. This is actually called a gap. And in the market, gaps normally have to get filled. So ultimately what would end up happening is all of these would get bought up, and then the next price should be $26.99. That's what should be the next price down, not $19.99. But this person or this person or this person, whatever, I myself, they gave up. They gave up. They said, "Oh, I don't want to deal with this tin bar anymore. I'm willing to get rid of it at any price possible." And so what I did was, I will come in there like Colleen Oling. I went in there, bought all of her bags. She wanted 30, 40 gold per bag. Okay, I bought 100 bags. I gave her 3,000, 4,000 gold. Now, I buy all the netherweave. Then I buy and make, I make all netherweave bags, and I list the bags as mine. This is economics 101, my friends. And that's all I'm saying is, so like, if anyone's still messaging me, your stuff might have gotten buried. Every time I open the mailbox, it's going to get buried. All right, but it's not a secret. Anyone can do this. All right, it's just the fact of the matter of, I did it. I'm able to play World of Warcraft for free. So, like, you guys played for gear and dungeons or friendship. Like, on the hardcore server that I play on, what is the price history here? 18, 2 or 1. It doesn't even bother me. I'll just sell it for 1. Just to see if I can get rid of it. Like, if I don't get rid of it, guess what? It's going to be back in my mailbox. That won't bother me. But the whole, like, for me, all I could do now in this game, since I think MOP is just retail trash, no offense, I think it's too kid-like. You got pandas running around and weird mounts. It's just not my style anymore. I don't know. I don't know. I'm a dad, all right? I've been playing since the game came out, and all this extra mumbo jumbo, it's very childish in some eyes, in my opinion. So this is not for me. I'm back to hardcore WoW, and that's just that. Like, what is this? Crunchy spider legs? Whatever, 22 copper, capitulate. I'm not trying to buy those out right now and have more spider legs than I need. Here's someone with more earth root. Guess what? I'm going to come in. I'm not going to buy this one. I will undercut them though. $9.97. Still have 500 gold worth of earth root. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm the one that had all these assets stored. I'm the one that bought them low, held them until they might have gotten high, and that's the game. If you wanted to learn how to do this, that's why you're watching this live stream right now. So I just wanted to teach you guys a little bit of economics, a little bit of supply and demand, a little bit of how even market mechanics work with gaps. There are not normally large price gaps in auctions and sales, price point of sales on things. So like you're getting a better lesson here than what you're actually planning on. All right, and it's not to be greedy. It's not to take the fun out of the game. To me, it's actually pretty relaxing doing this. Is it a task? Like, so you don't want to play the game to feel like a job, right? So I'm just here to show you another aspect of the game to perhaps pay for your WoW for free, because I'm not going to be on the server all the time. So that means there is a big chance for you guys to do something very similar, and you guys could do this and play on the MOP server for free. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Classic counts as hardcore, vanilla, Seasons of Discovery, this MOP. It all counts. Okay, so you can play your WoW for free in your leisure. Now the big thing is that it takes money to make money sometimes, and I haven't come across an example just yet. I believe I invested in Mithril ore today. I bought out whatever small amount there was, because if you corner a market, okay, you now control the price. Now, if you make the price too high, no one will buy it. And so there is a very fine line. Listen very closely. There is a fine line here, because the only way you can lose is if people actually go out and farm stuff on their own, right? You could have something listed for too much, and the person will just say, well, screw that. I'm going to go out and get it myself. That is the only time you can lose. So then that creates a no demand. You lose your deposit, and all the items get sent back to your bag. Well, you have to think about what prices you're setting things at so that they could actually sell rather than just sit there. So, like I said, when I knew that there would be a large demand for bags, okay, going from Cataclysm to MOP, that was the time to capitalize, because people are going to be making new characters. That was the time to go on the bag market. People are going to want bags. Now, to me, it's still crazy that there are servers out there, guys, that have WoW tokens, but they are 6 digits. We're a role-playing server. It's, I guess, obviously low population, less people play it. WoW tokens this is still technically relatively cheap in comparison to other servers, but they also have a lot more people. Higher economies will have a higher WoW token price because there's more money moving around the server. So right now I have 165,000 listed in assets. Now that might not be the true price discovery point, but it will be. Like, I know I have sales coming in, so like it's not like it doesn't work at all. There was a couple of times where, like with some mithril ore, what else? I'm trying to think of the other ores. Mithril, true silver, what is it, like Pyrium, uh, enchanted thorium bars. Like, some of those things can sell like hotcakes. Someone's leveling a character. You might see now right here. This is where I would buy something. But Peace Bloom for 34 is still ridiculous. I'll just undercut and throw up my 318 pieces and still try to get a sale. I really don't care at this point. I really don't care. Here's a big undercut. I would normally buy it. I have so much. Does anyone need Swift Thistle? Like, I could send you some Swift Thistle. I think I have 3,000 pieces. But this is how it goes, guys. This is how I made a couple months worth of WoW tokens. It's really not that difficult, and screw it, I'm going to do it. I'm gonna buy. They're 19. I give them what they want. They're happy. Now I have their Swift Thistle. I'll even drop the price down a bit more. Okay? That's basically it, guys. I don't think I need to say anything else about this. But that is the way the market works and how the stock market could work, or the WoW market. You know what I'm trying to say. So I'll leave it there. I hope you guys are having a fun time though on the server. I'm sure all the new raids and stuff are fun. It's just not my style. Oh, I'm finally at the end of the mailbox too. Is that the last page? Oh, that's a blessing. All right, so I'll finish up these items and then I'm gonna log out, guys. But hopefully you learned a little bit of something. And even if you don't want to do this, like I'm not saying you have to in any regard. Just have fun. Like the game is still fun. You just you're capitalizing on a different aspect. Some people are like, oh, I got to get my hit percentage up, or my resistance is higher. Well, what about like your gold? Like, are your bags maxed out? Like, I know mine are. Now they have 28 slot bags. Where did I think that's what I saw down here. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So here, let this be a goal for you guys. Would you rather have 4 royal satchels worth 24,000 gold, which technically at the end of the day is like nothing, right? It's just a bag, or like do you want to buy WoW tokens? Whatever your prerogative is, you still need to make gold. So if you want to have your end game royal satchels, where are you going to come up with 6,000? If you're just playing for, like you want to have best in slot, well, have best in slot bags. Go for that. Set yourself a goal, whether it be 1 WoW token, 4 royal satchels. I don't care what you do with what, it's your game. It's your game. And honest to God, if people don't want to buy at these prices, guess what? I'll come back tomorrow and relist it, or the next day, at a lower price. Eventually it will sell. Eventually everything will sell. I just know for sure right now that, oh wow, that's a big price jump. Like that's not good. In fact, that will like tank the price, but that's what happens. So if you were doing something like this, what you would do is be like, oh man, like that's a big undercut. Just remember, the people who farm the mats and stuff, they technically have infinite liquidity when it comes to these items. I'm just gonna sell it. I don't care. They're a big factor too. They could farm items faster than you could sell them, right? So remember that going forward. That's the only way you can lose, is if the price is too high, the person goes out and gets it themselves, or they find it through a private sale, or they wait for a price to drop. Oh, there's Kali and all. There they are. I can't say their name, but at one point I almost emailed them in a message and said, what are you doing? Like, stop selling bags at 30 or 40 gold. Because I'll just buy them. I was buying them and then reselling them. Literally, if they just sold them at a higher price, I would have not say a harder time, but there would be better price discovery on the bag market, because that 30 to 40 gold is just way too cheap. Way too cheap for a bag. Especially when, I don't even know what you're getting for your daily dungeons right now, but if you are getting 2 or 3 bags worth from one daily dungeon quest, you know there's something wrong with the market there. Look at this. There's definitely a bad imbalance. Go buy rough stone, guys, in case you need it for an alt or something. What is this ivory ink? I don't even know what that was. I bought it at one point. Watch me just get rid of it. But here, I'll run you down through the rest of my items real quick, and then I'm logging off, just in case if there's anyone still here. I'm not looking at chat or anything. But here's everything I have listed. 173,000 enlisted assets. Bruiseweed, coarse blasting powder, coarse stone, copper, crack meat, waters, blasting powder, dense stone, dream foil, earth root, elemental fire. Here's that enchanted thorium, eternal waters. You name it, it's there. Now, obviously I don't have MOP stuff, but netherweave, peace bloom, mithril, lots and lots and lots and lots and lots. Okay? It's no secret, I just worked harder than the average person, buying when things were listed low and reselling not too high, but in a pretty fair range on a spread that happens. Okay. All right, I'll leave it there, guys. I hope you had learned a little bit, and I don't know if someone in the guild or the guild leader, you see all these assets, I'd be willing to put up all of these assets. What is this? 173. I would take 2 WoW tokens worth. Nah, maybe 3. 3 WoW tokens, and you guys could have all of this. You could have it all for 3 WoW tokens. What's that? 32, 48,000 gold. You drop 48,000 gold, and I'll give you guys all of these items. Hands down. You walk away with it right now. It's not going to happen, but if you want it, I'd be willing to settle. If you guys actually do. That's it. Have a good one, my friends. Dr. Rage. On weed. It's time to go back.